Psalm 35, another one from David. This one is one of the strongest justice prayers in the Psalms, okay? David's being attacked by people who hate him without cause, twist his words, and repay good with evil. He asks God to step in as a judge and defender, okay? So, content, Lord, with those who contend with me, fight against those who fight against me. David asks God to take up shield and buckler, spear and javelin. This is courtroom and battlefield language. God as defender and warrior. He also asks for something personal. Say to me, I am your salvation. Sometimes you don't only need God to act, you need reassurance that He is with you, okay? Then he prays. He prays that the attacker's plans collapse, okay? Shame, confusion, being driven back. Then he says why. They hid a net for him without cause. This is key. David isn't asking to win an argument. He's asking for God to stop unjust traps. Justice prayers are about stopping evil, not feeding ego. Then false witness rise. They question him about things he doesn't know. Then the most painful part. When they were sick, David mourned and prayed for them. But when David stumbled, they gathered to mock and attack. This is betrayal. You helped them, and they celebrate your downfall, okay? One of the deepest wounds is being hated by people who treated well. Then David asks, how long will you look on? That's the Psalm 13 theme again, but in a different setting. Injustice and slander. He pleads for rescue from lions, violent enemies' imagery. They accuse him. Aha, we have seen it. What is the meaning? They think they've caught him. Prove him guilty. Evil loves to play prosecutor while hiding its own crimes, okay? Then David says, you have seen, Lord, do not be silent. He wants God to wake up, act, judge, declare him not guilty, and stop gloating, okay? Then he vows, if God vindicates, David will give thanks publicly and praise in the great assembly. He ends by asking that those who love God's justice rejoice and that God be exalted. Vindication isn't just personal relief, it becomes public testimony, okay? So, here are the key lessons from this chapter. The first one is you can ask God to fight for you when you're wrongly attacked. Second lesson, justice prayers are valid when harm is without cause. Third lesson, betrayal hurts most when it repays your good with evil. Fourth lesson, how long belongs in the Bible, even in conflict. Fifth lesson, seek God's vindication, not your revenge. Final lesson, public deliverance should lead to public gratitude. In summary, the psalm is David's prayer when he's surrounded by enemies and false accusation. He asks God to contend for him, to stop unjust traps, and to silence his slanderers who repay his kindness with hatred. David wrestles with God's delay, then pleads for public vindication and promises public praise when God rescues him. The psalm teaches that when you're targeted unfairly, you can bring the whole case to God and ask him to act as righteous judge and defender, okay? Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I see you in the next one.